FactsVerse presents Simple Ways to Figure Out If Someone is Lying to You. The Invention of Lying was a movie that came out in 2009 starring Ricky Gervais and Jennifer Garner. In the movie, people were unable to lie. They didn't know anything about lying, and everyone was incredibly blunt regardless of the situation. When you think of it, if we were unable to lie, this could be a perfect world. There'd be no lack of trust between people. We'd never be deceived or made a fool of. Unfortunately, we are able to lie. There are some lies that are considered white lies. An example of a white lie would be when a woman asks her husband if she looks fat in a certain pair of pants. You might think that she does, but he's not going to tell her that. Rather than hurting her feelings, he lies. Well, there are other more serious types of lies as well, the ones people use to get themselves out of trouble and to get what they want, even if it hurts someone else. There are three types of liars. First, there are bad liars. These are the people who lie to your face, and you can tell right away. The second type of liars are the good liars, the people that are so good at telling falsehoods without anybody ever being the wiser. The third type of liar is kind of tricky. These people will tell small lies to those close to them, and they make sure that it's obvious that they are lying. These people want everybody to think that they are bad liars. See, that way, when they tell a whopper of a lie, people will think that they're telling the truth, since the person is supposedly known to be a bad liar. Of the three types, that third one is the most dangerous. According to a study published in the American Psychological Association, the average American lies 11 times per week. If you want to know when somebody's lying to you and when they're telling you the truth, you should know the simple ways to figure out someone is lying to you. Tip number 1, not enough details. When a person's telling you the truth, they'll often add a few details to the stories. These details are related to how they perceived the situation. According to Psychology Today, liars will leave out certain details, and when they do this, they give you an incomplete account of how the events occurred. And that can lead to inconsistencies in the story. It can also make it very difficult for a liar to continue retelling the same story the same way. If you can pick up on those little things like that, you'd be able to tell if a person is lying or not. Tip number 2, lack of eye contact. If a person is telling you a lie, they'll often avoid making eye contact. It's a subconscious behavior that occurs because the person knows that they are intentionally deceiving you. According to Wendy L. Patrick, a career prosecutor and behavioral expert, if you're going to visually gauge whether a person is lying to you, you need a baseline, and eye contact is that baseline. There are some people who understand that avoiding eye contact is a sign of lying, so they'll do the exact opposite. If you feel like somebody's staring you down when they're having a normal conversation with you, there's a possibility that they're lying as well. If you have a baseline of a person in your life, you should be able to tell if they're lying. Tip number 3, short emotional outbursts. Short emotional outbursts during a conversation could be a sign that a person's lying. Stephen Porter's Forensic Psychology Lab conducted a study on lying. The participants in the study were asked to intentionally lie, and the researchers tracked the movements of their face. The study found that many of the people lying would crack for a fifth of a second. That means that momentarily they would tell a portion of the truth. They could also see it in the subject's faces. According to Dr. Porter, if somebody's telling a lie that is dire, such as to keep them out of prison, they might not be able to hide the fact that they're lying. While you can control your body language to a certain degree, you can't monitor what's going on with your face. There are certain expressions that help the researchers determine whether or not the subjects were lying. Tip number 4, bad memory. According to a study published in Psychology Today, many people who lie will claim to have a bad memory. When someone's telling the truth, they don't have a problem with recalling the circumstances of the story because they're telling the truth. A liar often has trouble keeping up with their lies and remembering the stories they've told. To protect themselves if they're caught, they'll sometimes claim that they have a poor memory. Tip number 5, pressed lips. According to a study published by the American Psychological Association, when a person is lying, they tend to press their lips together. It makes their face look tense and forced. When a person's telling the truth, their face won't tense because they have nothing to be tense about. They're telling the truth. Tip number 6, liars touch their faces. According to Roger Strecker Sr., who is a trained behavioral analysis interviewer, a person who's lying will inadvertently touch their face. They do this because they are nervous about the lie that they're telling and afraid they're going to get caught in the lie. Perspiration, fidgety hands, and face touching are all signs that a person could be lying. Tip number 7. People lie when they are stressed. Lies are often told to gain a connection. People have a fundamental need to maintain relationships, and when the truth isn't working, the person's stress level will increase, increasing the chance of them telling a lie. Subscribe for more.